Welcome back, my fellow PvZ addicts, to part 2 of beating Plants vs. Zombies 2 with only Magnifying Grass. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to all those who left amazing and encouraging comments. I'm beyond blown away by the amount of views and subscribers I got just from this one video, so of course, now I'll be trying extra hard to see this challenge through all the way to the end just for you guys. We gotta zoom in on this victory, right? Can't let anything stop us or slow us down. That being said, piracies really slowed me down. And no, I'm not talking about the waves. As expected, it was harder than ancient Egypt, but what wasn't expected was how much harder it was. There was a couple levels that I spent over an hour on. The amount of times I had to repeat the levels again, and again, and again, and again, just to beat it. But we'll get to those eventually. I can't complain because I really thought I wouldn't get past ancient Egypt with a plant that depends entirely on sun, and sunflowers are the one thing I restrict myself from using. They're worse than those Chica-Riz videos I've been seeing. Now I have a couple ideas in mind on how to make this challenge a bit more possible for those impossible levels, and I'll run them by you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think is valid and any other suggestions that might help me beat the levels without the use of sunflowers. And once again, thank you so much. Let's get into it. We're starting off with day 1. This level was relatively easy, so there's not much to talk about here. I had plenty of sun left over and all my lawnmowers, so I guess we should just move on to day 2. Day 2 is basically the same as day 1, but also introducing this bird zombie. He takes one shot to kill, just like the regular zombies. Only difference is that he is much faster, which will definitely come back to bite me in future levels. But once again, I had so much leftover sun in all my mowers, so nothing to worry about yet. Onwards to day 3. Day 3 introduced the Jack Sparrow of zombies, who is even easier to kill than the regular ones. I'm not exactly sure why it's made this way, but Jack Sparrow here dies quicker to the plant food effect than a regular zombie. Pretty interesting, but hey, I won't complain. This day was even easier than the last 2, so we can move on to day 4. Day 4 was nothing special, except the return of the buckethead. A literal buckethead this time. This level really humbled me and had me quaking in my socks, knocked the confidence right out of me when I had to lose 2 mowers because I just didn't have enough sun to deal with all the zombies. But we're still okay. Day 5 was questionable. Jack Sparrow here decided to be an idiot and miss his jump. Got a good laugh out of me though.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
I didn't realize that could actually happen. Has this always been a feature in the game and I just never noticed it before? Even with this pirate committing, suicide? Can a dead commit suicide? I had to repeat day 5 a couple of times, and by a couple, I mean a lot. And the main reason is this. Remember how I said the bird zombie will come back to bite me? Well, it came sooner than I expected. On my second run through of this level, I had just 1 zombie left, and of course, it had to be the bird one. It was just too fast. I just needed 1 more sun. There was no way I was moving on if I was this close to beating the level, and an hour of my life has been wasted that day. But I beat it, and we should move on before it wastes more. Day 6 was slightly hard, but not as hard as day 5. I failed my first attempt, but managed to beat this on my second, though I had to lose most of my mowers and had no sun left to spare. This challenge is not looking too good. I'm only 6 days in out of 25 and I'm already having trouble at needing to restart. Day 7 was another day 5, though this time it was because of the introduction to this barrel zombie. Here, I'll let this clip explain. I swear, if the plant food in this game messes with me one more time, I don't know. But luckily enough, I did manage to beat it on my second attempt, so it's all fine. Though, this made me think of new ideas for the plant food effect. What if instead of some weird laser beam, the magnifying grass floats up, turns, and just has a huge flashbang go off. And when everything fades back to normal, you just have no zombies on the board. Or it could do like the exploding sun in the far future. which I guess is fair. Day 8 was just a conveyor belt level, so we can skip this. But I'll take this chance to address another thing pointed out in my comments, and that is the level of my Magnifying Grass. First off, thank you to the people who commented about this. My Magnifying Grass is currently level 2, and from what I understand, that is a high enough level to be able to one-shot a conehead, rather than needing 2 shots when it's just level 1. But I have an excuse and a counter for this. Respectfully, obviously. My excuse is, the Magnifying Grass was already leveled up before I even thought about this challenge, so there wasn't really much of a choice there, and I don't have the option to level down, and there's definitely no way in hell I'll be taking the time to create a new account to unlock the Magnifying Grass in order to continue this challenge. This video would be pushed back weeks if I had to do all that. And finally, my counterpoint is this. I would not have beaten Ancient Egypt if I needed 2 shots, which is 100 sun, instead of just 1 in order to kill a conehead, especially if the Pharaoh and the Buckethead zombie both require 3 shots to kill. It was hard enough beating the levels with the ability to one-shot coneheads. Removing that ability would make this challenge definitely impossible. But to keep this challenge an actual challenge, I'll be adding a new rule to my rulebook, and that is no more leveling up. So my Magnifying Grass is staying at level 2. Unless we come to an agreement that I can level up further for future worlds. Though, with the ideas I have in mind, hopefully it won't come to that. Once again, thank you guys for bringing this up. On to day 9. Day 9 was relatively easy as well, because most of the zombies were just funneled into these 2 lanes at the top, considering this is the only path they could walk on to get to me. I had just about enough sun and plant food to deal with all of them, except, of course, for one, because this game just can't be nice to me, so I had to lose a single molar for a single zombie. If only I had the ability to dig up extra sun. Day 10 introduced the cannon with the imps. This is where the challenge gets significantly harder. I thought the right shield zombies were bad, but nothing prepared me for the zombies to have the ability to load themselves up and shoot themselves out of a cannon repeatedly, because why not? And then, when I don't destroy the cannon myself, it decides to launch an artillery strike, just for the heck of it. As if the barrel zombie shenanigans wasn't hard enough. My strategy for these cannons is just to get rid of them as fast as I can in order to preserve more sun. Sometimes, you gotta lose some sun to save some sun. Day 11 is my hated enemy. I can't beat it, and I promise you, I tried. Again and again, loss after loss, brains after brains, death after death, raging and praying to the PvZ gods. I just had to give it up. As of right now, it's just simply impossible. There's just too many zombies to deal with and not enough sun. I lose before I even make it to the final wave. But there might be hope. This is where I bring you idea 1. What might possibly be my totem of undying. The Zen Garden. This peaceful, everlasting Garden of Eden, where I can give my plants the knowledge to actually put my photosynthesis strategy to good use. As soon as I plant one of these enlightened plants down with the power of the bees and the water cans in this garden, they immediately use their power-up ability to mow down these zombies. What a blessing. Now of course, it's up to you guys, the viewers, if I'm allowed to do this or not. The downside to all this is, I may not get a Magnifying Grass seed in my garden for every level that I struggle with. I may run out of seeds long before I even get to the Dark Ages, so it's not completely reliable. And as stated before, the Magnifying Grass plant food doesn't really work well on zombies stronger than a regular one. So I'll put this idea off to the side until I get some feedback from you guys and move on to day 12. Day 12 was one of my favorite levels as a kid. I remember feeling like the best gamer alive when I beat Penny's score, not once, not twice, but 3 times, because that's what it once was. You had to be a much higher than this measly 3,000, and you had to do it 3 times. The good old days. Day 13 is our first sun production challenge. At first, I cheated a bit by doing this level while actively using sunflowers, but don't worry, I then beat this level again without sunflowers, by just stalling the last zombie and then planting the sunflowers, so we're still in the clear to move on. Day 14 was the last stand, so we can skip it. I just did another tribute to Shagrot and did it nuts only. It was pretty easy with Coconut Cannon and abusing the Spearmint for more sun. Day 15 was surprising. I don't remember doing a level with a 3-peater before, but I'm happy to have it. I remember back in the OG PvZ days where I craved the pool level minigame where the conveyor belt only gave me 3 Peters. Seeing these triplets in action always scratches an itch in my mind that I can't put into words. It's like having a cute little Hydra from Greek mythology, with pea shooters instead of dragon heads. Day 16 is just torture. I had to protect these green shrimps from dying, while over 30,000 barrel zombies are rolling towards them. I don't even want to think about how many attempts I had on this level. I really gave up on this level and moved on to the next one. I was such an idiot. The answer was right in my face the entire time, and I just didn't think of it until after I had beaten the boss to complete the challenge for this world. So that's what we're gonna do. You're not gonna see me beat this level until the end of the game, where I finally put my no good 2 cells into use. Day 17 is just another day 11. It's impossible. But now we can discuss idea number 2, which is stalling. Yup, that's as simple as it gets. Stalling the zombie until I get enough sun to kill them, whether I use one of the defensive nuts who'll always have my back in more ways than one, or simply an iceberg. Stalia and Stunnion are also good options. But you get the point. Day 18 didn't allow me to choose my plants, but it was also quite surprising that it didn't give me sunflowers. It seems like even the game has some bias against them, just like the rest of us sunflowerist haters. These despicable specimen have done something to us that our inner minds make up any challenge that we can to avoid them, and I'm loving it. Day 19 was another sun production level, but this time with the additional objective to not let the zombies trample the flowers. Now you see, if it was up to me, personally, I would have bought weed killers myself and ripped out these flowers one by one for being such a stupid and annoying challenge. Hear their screams and shout of pain as they slowly limp down and dry out, like other things that I know of. But sadly, of course, we can't do that. This day was pretty easy though, so we can move on. Day 20 was the most absolutely shocking level ever. Why, you may ask? Well, the answer is simple. The game gave us one of the most creative challenges yet. I'm absolutely amazed and embarrassed that I never came up with this great idea myself. Produce 1,000 suns before beating the level. Here's a fun fact. Pirates ran their ship under what could be described as a democratic system. I wonder what happens if we gave some of these zombies a sword. Better yet, a flintlock. Here are 2 sad fun facts in one. The idea of walk the plank wasn't really used by pirates. They had other methods of dealing with insubordination, as well as most pirates didn't actually keep parrots. This is because they could be sold for good money and it wasn't really worth the price to take care of one. Day 22 was another last stand level, so we're gonna skip this before I run out of time. Here's another fun fact. Pirates didn't wear an eye patch because they lost an eye. They used it to try and trick their eyes into adjusting to darkness much quicker, whether it was below or at night. Day 23 was really easy. It was just another don't trample the flowers challenge combined with killing a certain amount of zombies in a time frame. I had more than enough sun to deal with it. The kill zombie streak challenge usually just got beaten by accident, so I didn't really have to worry about it. Day 24, the penultimate level. And it's another day 16. Literally. Defend these useless wastes of space. Okay, maybe not waste of space or useless, but like this plant naps more than your average Uncle Joe on the couch. This plant just does one job and decides to take a nap each time it does its job, as if it was difficult and hard to do. I just couldn't beat this level. It's really sad to end off like this though. That's 4 levels I have to mark as impossible. Day 25, the boss level. Now, I could come up with another strategy to deal with zombies. For example, shoving the magnifying grass pointy side up his, or just simply burn off his balls. But of course, the game won't allow us to even pick it, so we're just gonna have to deal with this. Did you really think this was it? That I was just gonna sit here and allow myself to be beaten to allow this to be the conclusion of this video? First up, day 24, once again. By some miracle, I managed to beat it, and it was a lot of luck and a lot of butt clenching. The different stages of grief I went through when dealing with this cannon will haunt me to the end of time. This imp was 1 bite away from ending this challenge. It only requires 4 bites for the magnifying grass to die. This imp was on the 3rd one, about to deliver the 4th. But the sun dropped and my quick fingers clutched up in just in time. It's like scoring that last second buzzer beater to win the game. After this, I had to pull a page out of the green shrimp book and take a nice deserved nap. Day 16 here was as simple as using the plant food, but not on the magnifying grass. Instead, on the shrimp itself. I just didn't think the plant food would make the shrimp knock the zombies back into the water. I just thought it would bounce them back so it can delay the advancement of the zombies. This level was 10 times easier after discovering that, and now I'm just realizing that I could have used this strategy to beat level 24. Screw this game, man. And that's all of Pirate Seas beaten. We still have the exception of day 11 and 22, of course. I'll take what I can get though. Also, if you guys have any ideas or strategies to beat any other impossible level I might encounter without having to use a sunflower, please feel free to tell me. We gotta finish this challenge somehow. And as always, if you enjoyed this, don't worry. Part 3, which will be the Wild West, will be out sometime soon. Just don't forget to subscribe so you're notified of when it happens. Thanks for watching.